It is Monday and welcome back for another week. There is no better Monday than the Monday after a British final or the universe. Competing or not competing, it's just so motivating. So I actually had a relatively good session this morning for me at the moment. I was tired, but I got up that little bit later and cracked on with an upper session, and it was decent. There was a couple of PBs in it. I'm just plodding along at the minute whilst things are just starting to fall into place, and there's a little bit of a few things still just up in the air with treatment for me and medication and blah blah blah. So a few more weeks of plodding along ain't gonna kill me, but I've had a very relaxed Monday. I've not done a lot at all, which is the name of the game at the moment. I have done a food shop. I have cleaned my makeup brushes. I am now walking Maggie to get some fresh air. But that is it. That is it. My life isn't very exciting at the moment, and I'm really sorry. But this is real. This is how things are for me right now. Why do I actually love coming in here so much? It's my go-to. I am not feeling wicked. Sorry for myself. Need a sugar-free something to cheer me up. What a loser. I'm back home and I've worked out what it is about that shop. It makes me feel like I'm on holiday. You know when you're on holiday and you go to a corner shop and it's got loads of weird and wonderful things? It gives me holiday vibes. Alas, I'm no longer on holiday. Feels like it was fucking years ago. Must book another one. I'm gonna soak my nails off and I'm gonna edit a vlog because I'm very, very behind. And I'm just gonna relax because I am so tired. I get so tired now just doing not a lot, like just normal stuff. I can do nothing all day and I'm very tired, which is frustrating. So good things and bad things. I've reintroduced pasta and it seems to be relatively okay. I can't tell whether it's making me bloated because loads of other things have been making me bloated, so I don't know whether it's that. However, I haven't got the intense pain and cramping that I did in prep when I introduced pasta into my diet, so I'm quite happy to keep it in, and it's something that I feel like I really want at the moment. My digestion has been poor at certain times over the weekend, and it's just been a lot slower today, to the point where it's 5:30 and I am on meal 3 out of 5. I'm just making it, so I've only had pre-workout, post-workout and my 3 calories and a chicken and rice meal. I'm just having my second chicken and rice meal, but my appetite and everything is fluctuating so much. It's never ever consistent, so it's not worth changing any of my meals around in terms of like having smaller ones that are higher calorie or anything like that. It's really frustrating to have something fluctuate so much, but it is what it is. I've had another appointment through from the hospital today, which I can't keep up with. I keep getting appointments through for referrals to gastroenterology, and they're all first appointments. So I'm assuming that the previous ones are just getting cancelled and then getting cancelled. I am going to speak to the secretary tomorrow because it's just getting a bit silly now. And the last thing that I want to do is miss one, not have this breath test, and then them just strike me off the treatment pathway, because I really need this breath test for them to be able to prescribe me anything new. So that was taking place on the 13th of November. That's now been moved to the 24th, I think. But I need to find out whether this is a cancellation. It's making me a little bit grumpy, to be honest, but I think the average wait time is 16 weeks. So I was impressed to have gotten that through so soon. because of the things that I have to eat and how I have to prepare for this test, it's not something that I can get a cancellation for either without 48 hours notice, because I need to completely change what I eat the day before. Frustrating, but what's new? It is Tuesday. And I'm just, yes, I am in the passenger seat. I'm literally not waiting for Andy or anything. I've just got into town, gone to get this out of my bag, and then sat back down so that I can eat it. Not that I want it, because that's how my body is responding today. I trained quads and delts this morning. Any leg day makes me feel very unwell, but I managed it. I got through that. It felt nice again, like it did last week, even though it was frustrating to still stimulate my quads, having been on holiday and not had like really high quality leg equipment to be able to push that. But I'm actually just nipping into town to see whether there's a book that I want to get. And who is this girl? I don't read. I listen to audiobooks, but I've purposely downloaded an audiobook on holiday that I thought would be really helpful for like self-help. It just keeps on flitting through different things. It's like it's been written by me, and it just gets distracted and talks about something else which I would have in another chapter, and it's really like, when I'm listening to it, it's overstimulating me. So I just need to find something else that I can go through at my own pace and maybe actually sit down and read for once. I did some cardio this morning as well, which felt good, but I had to do it as an incline walk, which didn't contribute to my steps because I took my watch off, and I'll be pottering about town and get a couple in there. But today is another slow, take it easy kind of day. I might see if there's anything in Boots that can kind of help me out a bit. Explore Holland and Barrett for some more like kefir options, because so many of them are dairy and I'm trying to rebuild my gut bacteria. I don't want to be doing that with dairy products because I'll fucking die. Making a difference to me or not, whether it's going well, not going well, I really want to stick to the dairy free as far as I possibly can, so that I get a definitive result from that in you know, a few months to come. So there's that to consider. When I get back home, it's going to be an afternoon of chucking chicken in the slow cooker, maybe doing a hair mask or something, sorting out my supplements and resting. Honestly, this morning after I came back from my gym session, got back at about 10 to 9, sat down on the sofa with my post-workout, and I could have just slept. I am very tired, and I'm weirdly very tired in the morning, but I don't want to switch my training around to an evening because it's one, really busy, two, I think I'll be more tired, and I'm not taking any pre-workout or any stimulants at the moment to just give my gut a chance. I can't win. Don't know whether anyone else's Tuesday nights are spent watching the Bake Off and sat slagging off cheesecakes and people's cheesecake making abilities like we could make a better cheesecake. We're just complaining about how Ian always makes a face after he gets negative feedback. Right, the loop is Ian gets negative feedback. He takes a bite of whatever he's made and then makes a face as though he's agreeing with the feedback. But he always says that his practice runs have gone really well. And we hate him, don't we?
Also, tasty stuff as you're making it.
When was the last time you made a cheesecake? A Basque cheesecake?
I haven't made a Basque cheesecake.
Good morning, it is Wednesday. It is a rest day, however, I am at Ultraflex and I've just done about 35 minutes cardio, and I've started off some of my steps. I had to do them again, walking at an incline of about 7, a speed of about 5.5 to 6 to get my heart rate up to 130. Usually I would push higher than that on the Stairmaster, but again, I could not be next to this girl. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it got done, which is fine, and that's more than enough at the moment. It's fine. 130 is a good place for your heart rate to be at for cardio. 140 to 150 personally for me feels like I'm doing more, but at the minute, as long as my heart rate is high, that is fine, and I'm happy with that. I thought I'd do a bit of a full day of eating today, just to show you exactly what my new food is like. Not drastically different, but it does give me a little bit more choice. I have started the day off with a banana. It's actually one of my snacks and part of one of my last meals. However, if I do anything too strenuous in the mornings with no food in me, I just feel quite nauseous. So I've had a banana already. When I get home, I will start talking you through how my full day of eating on a rest day looks currently. Probably hold off for my first meal of the day until a little bit later than I normally would. I'd normally eat that about 9 o'clock, but now that I've just taken one of my snacks from the last meal of the day, I'll just push everything back a little bit. My appetite has not been great this past week. It really hasn't been since I got home. I don't know whether part of that is also because, man, I just want what I had on holiday. God, the food on holiday was so fucking delicious. And there was so much choice. I just really enjoyed having a little bit of everything. And I didn't hold back on what I was eating on holiday. I ate a little bit of everything. Today, I've got to take Maggie for her boosters. I say for actual like tasks that I need to do. We're actually with friends over the weekend, trying to spend my weekends at the moment just filling up my cup, like mentally at the moment, and making time for our best friends and just putting myself in good environments and keeping stress low throughout the week, making sure I get plenty of rest. It's annoying actually, because I'm putting in so much effort to look after my gut and look after all of the different things that I should be. And, you know, with the dairy free, with the different supplements, with different foods, and I'm still not seeing a whole lot of joy on the gut front, which is frustrating. Even more frustrating that my breath test keeps on getting pushed back because I could have had more antibiotics, but here we are. I am actually very hungry now that I've done that and been for a big poo. The poos just are not normal though. It's just still not great. Still not great. But I haven't had diarrhea since holiday. I don't know why I'm touching the side of the car. That is not wood. I haven't had diarrhea since holiday so far. Long may that continue. Didn't wait very long, did I? I said I was going to wait and I'm just not. So this is the same meal that it's always been on a rest day. It is 60 grams of oats. It is 30 grams of whey, vegan whey, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 10 grams of peanut butter and 100 grams of berries. What I have done is mixed in some blackberries with my raspberries. Don't like the blueberries. I really do. I've tried to like them. I don't really like them. But what I am trying to do is mix them in with something else. Blackberries also have the same kind of antioxidant properties as blueberries. So anything purple is usually pretty good, like beetroot and things like that. But I'm not putting beetroot in my oats. So that is first meal of the day. I've just thought as well, I'm going to add some of this white cheddar seasoning in. So it's almost like a bacon turnover, but with no cheese. Get these down me before we go to the vets. Someone was very good at the vets. She's got it everywhere. We'll worry about that in a little bit, won't we? Good girl. While she cleans that up, I got a cold brew with oat milk and sugar-free caramel. So I wouldn't necessarily count a cold brew on my calories. That's probably why I'm a bit chubbier than I would like at the moment, but here we are. In prep, I would have had that as just a cold brew with no milk whatsoever, unless it was unsweetened almond milk that I'd brought myself. The sugar-free caramel would have been fine, but I'm not in prep. My I'm counting calories drink from Starbucks is always an iced oat shaken brown sugar espresso thing. She's just made so much mess. I'm assuming she's clearing that up. Okay, next on the meals, now that we're back from the vet, is 120 grams of chicken, which I've put Chinese 5-spice seasoning on, and I don't know whether that is sitting well with me, just at a smell level. But we'll move. There's 110 grams of rice. Now that used to be a tortilla. It still can be a tortilla wrap, but I've swapped it out, and actually the rice is digesting well, so I'm just leaving it. Then there's some stir-fry veg in there, there's 50 grams of avocado, and there's 20 grams of light mayo on there. There's also some 0-calorie teriyaki sauce from the Prosies. Ignore all this, I need to sort it out in a minute. And then I've also, for the rest of my free calories, got some Sour Patch Kids. The blue raspberry flavour, brand new. And I've got 11 of those, which is about 101 calories, so works out all right. Just been over to my dad's. I actually originally went over there to test his new Fire Stick and make sure that it was working, and ended up sitting and watching the Ozzy Osbourne documentary, because obviously I haven't got Paramount, he's got a Fire Stick, and I have sobbed all the way through it, and I'm using a new setting spray today and I'm trialing it out. It's the Tier 1. I don't know whether I'm TIR. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it properly, but it's quite a new brand to me. Anyway, popular on TikTok for the almost like cream foundation that you put on with a pad. It's like a blurring foundation, and they've got a million shades. Anyway, I'm using that. I've sobbed my way through that. Can't tell, can you? So yeah, his Fire Stick works. That was 2 hours long. And I haven't had another meal since. So I've just pulled up at Tesco to pick up some batteries and a couple of other bits, get some petrol, blah, 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 boring shit. And then I'm going to go back and have my final 2 meals of the day and get the rest of my steps done. I've got a check-in tomorrow. I didn't do my check-in on Monday because I saw Amy on Sunday and we were both knackered, and we looked at each other and she was like, I've got so many check-ins to do tomorrow. And I was like, do you want one less? And she was like, yeah, go on. Check-in on Tuesday. I completely forgot. Well, it's a good job because I was constipated as hell anyway, so she ain't missing out on much. So I've got to check in tomorrow. At the moment, I have just made peace with the fact that there is so much going on in there that what will be will be, and I'm not particularly bothered about how I look as such. I am to an extent of like fat gain, like I don't want excess, but also if the scales are up, the scales are up. As long as I look all right and I feel okay, those are the main things for me at the moment. And there's just so much that I don't have control over, and as long as I'm managing the things that I can, that's it at the minute. I cannot do any more, and I can't get stressed over it, and that would just be completely counterproductive to making myself well. That's it, really. Okay, the next meal. I've got home. What this should be, I'm being a little bit naughty with it, is 120 grams of chicken, 125 grams of rice, some mixed veggies, and 10 mils of extra virgin olive oil. Which makes me feel a little bit ick at the minute. So what I've done is put 14 grams 14 grams of peanut butter on it, because calorie for calorie, macro to macro for this particular peanut butter that I'm using, which, by the way, if you haven't been to Aldi and picked up one of these, what are you waiting for? This is so much better macro wise than your Whole Earth and stuff like that. If you're just wanting fats as opposed to the protein content. So that's what I'm having. And honestly, I'm not feeling all that wicked today. I've had a couple of questionable poops. And again, I've done nothing. I've done nothing different. Nothing. This is where the gut stuff gets... And this is where the gut stuff gets really frustrating, because I've done nothing that I shouldn't have. However, life has chosen to reward me with an arse volcano. And not a lot I can do about that. But actually not having as much of an appetite today has served me well for stretching these meals out a little bit more, because obviously I had that banana pre-cardio. I don't really want it. It's so frustrating, but I'll eat it anyway. I am actually just having to cook my beef before I can show you what my next meal is. But whilst I'm here, this is an extremely bold claim, but I think I know what the secret recipe is to McDonald's burgers. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I believe it. I can smell it. Like, it smells like a McDonald's burger. And I did this all the way through prep. I've never changed it. It's this. Wang it on. It's a little bit of this. Onion salt. And it's a teaspoon of just normal salt. It smells like McDonald's. It's my kitchen and it's my 5% beef. Makes the difference, I swear to God. I seasoned my beef like that all the way through prep, and all of my beef meals were delicious. So this nearly concludes my full day of eating. That is 100 grams of minced beef, 5%. It is 125 grams of rice. Can be pasta, either or, but I've gone for rice. 100 grams of a low-fat tomato-based sauce. And I have just sprinkled a little bit of my not cheese powder on top, which is going down a treat. Tastes like a spag bowl, but not. That was very cute.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah, I think so. My last meal, obviously would have been that banana, but I had it as my snack this morning, and it's 20 grams of dark chocolate. And as Andy just rightly said, why don't you just have some of the Hotel Chocolat Easter egg that we've got left?
I've got to embarrass them by letting them know that you've still got a fucking Easter egg left.
I know. How embarrassing.
It's October.
I don't know how it's lasted this long, really. It is, I think it's, this one's 70%, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the other half of it was 85, which personally tastes like the fucking ground to me. But the 70% half is lovely. So we'll have that. I also just made myself really excited because I was like, oh, this is much thicker. I'll have to break off a smaller piece. And broke off exactly 20 grams. And I just think if there was a way that I could put eyeballing foods and how much they weigh onto my CV, I just would. I'm going to eat my shard of Easter egg and watch the Traitors. Who's your favourite on the Traitors so far? Don't know how Jonathan Ross is still getting away with it. I think his time is coming.
Yeah, he's a good gamesman though. I rate him as a traitor.
Like last week they were all like, Jonathan Ross, yeah, Jonathan Ross this, Jonathan Ross, and it came to it and they were like, Claire Baldwin. Dickheads. Yeah, Joe Malley.
And he's actually really clever.
Yeah.
He's come out with some good points and people just keep ignoring him, and he's like...
It's because he's a big old muscly brute and they just don't think he's got anything between his ears, but he bloody does.
Yeah.
Happens to us all. I thought Bob Mortimer was going in and he hasn't appeared yet, and I'm absolutely heartbroken.
This was a vicious rumour.
Hard rumour.
Yeah.
I love Bob Mortimer. He reminds me so much of my dad. Isn't my dad Bob Mortimer?
I will kill again.
I will kill again. It's like I've lost more detail on this leg than this one. How strange. It's Thursday, good morning. I have just done my check-in, just making up my pre-workout meal. I was going to do a full day of eating again. So I've got 60 grams of oats in here with some flavour drops because my whey has been taken out of this meal. I did have 20 grams of whey in it, still got a banana in it. So it's got some marzipan drops. I'm expecting Maggie to just erupt down the stairs because she can tell when a banana's being peeled and cut from a mile away. It's her favourite. I'll be surprised if she doesn't turn up. I'll leave it there just in case she's a little bit sleepy. But I'll mix this banana in the pan and then lob some salt and 20 grams of Biscoff on top. And that is my quite heavy, quite stodgy pre-workout meal. Sid. Oh, good girl. Okay, so my post-workout meal is going in. It's going in a little bit later because we had to drop the car off at the Nissan dealership for the fuel gauge to be sorted out. But in this meal, I've got 40 grams of vegan whey and I've got 70 grams of Frosties. As you can see, I've put some sweetener on there because if I don't, I can't deal with it. And today, I don't want sweet things. I don't want this. All I want is a sausage, whether it's a battered sausage, pork pie would do. Sausage. All I can think about is salty porky pork. I ain't got a car. I can't go and even get myself a sausage. I don't even think I could track a battered sausage. Not accurately anyway. Oh, it's pushing my buttons. With some gravy to dip it in. I don't think the heck pork that I've got in is going to cut it. I'm just basically craving everything that I had on holiday. Chicken sausage would do. I just really want some salmon. But yeah, salty pork. Just had a shower and washed my hair. On today's episode of What Can I Cram Into 450 Calories? Maggie, no, come on. I have 2 of the heck sausage thingies. I have 2 slices of sourdough, about 100 grams of sourdough. I have supposed to have 1 egg, and then I broke one, and then I got annoyed, and I just chucked another one on. Sue me. So this is actually about 60 over, and 3 grams of butter. I'm going to inhale it. Now for my next meal, I am just sat in my bra because I feel really hot. I'm really sick and I do not want it. I do not want this meal. I'm just really starting to get the chicken ick. I thought this would happen as soon as my chicken went up. Which is quite annoying. This next meal is very much similar, samey to yesterday because it is my wrap meal where I've taken the wrap out and added rice, but it doesn't have the mayo on it. So it is 120 grams of chicken, 110 grams of rice, some stir fry veg, and 50 grams of avocado. And loads of onion salt. And I'm going to try and get this down. Maybe it'll probably take me a while. I've got the car back. I'm actually just sat outside Sainsbury's because I'm going to go in and just grab some kefir drinks and a couple of other little bits. But it's 4:30 and my appetite's gone. This full day of eating might need to stop because I don't know how much eating there's going to be after this. I just get like this now. I don't think I like my chicken anymore. Amy's going to be so mad. So mad. She was like, let's just hope we don't get the chicken ick after I've added more chicken. I can't stomach another one. I can't. I think I might be able to do my beef meal. But the nausea is wild. It's so strong. And I could fall asleep standing up. And it's 4:30. I have been a nap queen this week and last week. Just trying to rest wherever I can. And when life hands me that. But I feel it in my eyes that if I could. But I'm not going to. I'm going to carry on, go to Sainsbury's. I don't know whether I'll get the rest of my steps done today. I've done about 5,000. But this is how it be. This is how it be. But alas, it could be worse. I could be completely on my arse. Some days I think things are improving, other days not so much. And I think I've got a spot coming here and here, which is fantastic because aren't they just the most painful? Fuck me. I'm declining. So my full day of eating, for complete transparency, has now turned into a beige buffet of rice cakes and tuck biscuits. I can't eat my chicken meal or my beef meal. I'm going to get some protein in a little while with an Alpro yogurt and some oats, I think. But for now, this is just having to happen. Oh, come here. Oh no. Oh, Andy, what happened?
And I was like, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's a massive puddle. Tried to like course correct
Skirt it.
Too late, hit it, took a step to the right to dodge it. It was just really muddy. That foot went out, my leg twisted, went down. Maggie obviously then creeps out and goes, ah! And goes left. And I just
ate shit.
ate shit. But it really hurt.
Are you okay?
It really hurt because as I went down, I proper hyperextended my toe. So I was just on the ground like, around,
let me look at your bum again. Oh, oh no. I've put the wall up and I need to change my picture. I don't know which one to go for. British Finals or PCA Universe. Good morning, it is Friday and I'm just sitting down to have my 3 calories, which is bacon medallions on sourdough today with 8 grams of butter. And I'm feeling a little bit brighter than yesterday. I tend to start off well and then deteriorate throughout the day. So that's fine. I tanned last night. I actually used Pro-Tan and did a light layer of Pro-Tan base coat and then washed it off this morning before training. Oh my God, that's good. Because I just want to feel nice. Not even doing anything strenuous or going out anywhere this weekend. We're literally going to see our best friends we'll probably be going to a pumpkin patch or doing kid stuff. Like, it's not, there's no need for it, but it has made me feel a little bit nicer. I trained this morning. That was the first decent leg session that I feel like I've done in a really long time, like pre-holiday. But it did make me feel sick. It did make me very tired. So it's just one of them things that leg training at the minute is just going to be challenging. It's been like that for such a long time now. But the plan after this is to get this down me, go and take the car to be cleaned, and whilst it's being cleaned I'm going to walk and get a coffee and just feed back to the girls and get ready to go over to our friend's house for the weekend, which is just so needed. Right, that's the car all dropped off for a valet. I just realised I never even gave any feedback on my check-in yesterday. So my weight was 76.6, so that's 0.3 up on last week, which is fine. I think at the minute my body is doing so many different things that Amy and I have just kind of, we're not disregarding weight, but also kind of are, because the composition is the most important thing. And at the minute things still look all right, and where I should be kind of sitting in an off season where I'm primed to grow and stuff, so it's fine. It's a little bit heavier as a look rather than a weight than I'd like to be at right now, but also keeping healthy and making sure that my body can do what it needs to do to help itself right now is just more important. So that was my feedback after the kind of a week of trialing different calories, moving things around a little bit. So I'm quite happy with that, and it's just a case of cracking on. We are going to have a call next week about adapting my training, which we were going to be doing anyway. I always said that post prep I wanted to just make my training plan a little bit more intentional for the kit that I have at Ultraflex, because my gym changed throughout that prep and I adapted my original plan. Now my original plan, training program, hasn't changed in the 2 years that I've been with Amy, and I think people underestimate, especially like clients and stuff, will think that they need to switch up more frequently than that, and you don't. It's doing the simple things consistently and learning to do them well and progressively overloading them that gets you the growth. Priority when I got off stage was gut stuff and working on some of that and fixing some of that, and then now that that's in a slightly better spot for at least knowing what's going on and supplementing right and doing what we can, training can now follow, and that will be training to make sure that I'm training to improve on my feedback and improve on my physique and make sure that I'm growing in all the right places that I need to, which I imagine will be a bit of everywhere. I need a bigger back, I need bigger, thicker lats. Personally, that's what I want. I need much bigger glutes. My hamstrings and quads are actually okay for the athletic figure class, but could always be bigger. Everything could be bigger, basically. So it won't be too far different, but it will be looking at equipment we have, what I enjoy, what I don't get on with, what sits best with my form. You know what I mean? So that's going to happen next week. But for now, I'm walking to Starbucks. I'm going to feed back to the girls. Do you know, when I was walking back from Starbucks to pick the car up, I had a couple of people staring at me, and I was like, what the fuck's their problem? I've got socks in my hair, and I didn't realise, because I've actually tried to really hide them at the top, but out the back you can tell I've got a pair of socks in my hair. We're just getting the last of our steps in before Maggie goes off to the kennel for the weekend. Go and see Jay-Z. Yeah. With our friends' babies and their dogs. Just ain't worth it. If you remember, I don't suppose you would, because it was like a year ago. We introduced Maggie to our friends' dogs when we all got together, probably about literally this time last year, and they hated her. We shan't be putting her through that again. I'm a bit old though, so I get it. I was going to say, do you know what I've seen today? I had a little bit of a moan about people chatting shit about where they've placed and stuff, back to the drawing board a couple of weeks ago. I've seen a new one today that I'm going to have a moan about. Lying about your feedback. Now, I am exceptionally fortunate that I've had a lot of people invested in my bodybuilding journey, whether that is on here, whether that is on Instagram, my whole like body transformation, everything from 18 stone to British champ. It's been a wild ride and I've had a lot of support and I'm very grateful for it. Whilst I'm very grateful for it, I don't have anything to prove to anyone, yeah? Only myself. Now, I don't understand if other competitors are in the same position as I am, which they are, why anyone would feel like they needed to lie about their feedback online. You ain't got anything to prove to anyone, you ain't got anything to justify what you're lying for. And I say that that it's a lie and that it's a clear lie because bodybuilding is one of them sports where 8 weeks out from a show, I know exactly what my feedback's going to be because I can see it. I'm not emotionally tied to my physique in a way where I couldn't tell you exactly what the judges are going to say. It won't upset me, won't take it personally. It's what I put myself out there to do, yeah? And most people will possibly know even before they prep what their feedback's going to be because you can't meet it all. And no matter how much you've improved from last time, there's probably still more work to do because we're not all Olympians, are we? We're not the elite. We're all amateurs. Some of us pros, not me, but we're all amateur athletes. We've got a lot of work to do, yeah? Lying about what your feedback is in an Instagram post benefits absolutely fucking no one. Makes you look a dick as well because whilst I myself am invested in a lot of people's journeys, but I can objectively look at someone and whilst I find their physique very impressive and wish I looked like that, I can still tell you where the judges are going to tell them to bring up. Someone posted today that their feedback was to go abroad to go and get their pro card. They didn't even win their category. They didn't even win their category. And the person that did win their category didn't win the overall. So technically, if we want to put some numbers on it, you're 3 steps behind the pro card. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you lying for? It just wasn't your feedback. Your feedback. It's okay to have things to bring up and improve. Oh, it just wound me up today. People feeling like they've got things to prove online when really, unless you've made relationships with some of the people that you've met online, met them in person, you know, we all feel like we're mates. And actually bodybuilding is one of them places where you do make friends online very easily, got a lot in common. You don't know these people. What are you lying to them for and lying to yourself for? They also will have got critique. It just blows my mind. I don't really get it. I knew before I got on stage at Southwest this year that my feedback was going to be glutes, delts, more ab development, making them denser if I wanted to compete in athletic, which I do. Rear delts, probably not biceps. maybe triceps. Just everything. That's alright, that's why we do it. Anyway, whilst I'm ranting, gut update. If I'd have been home a minute later, I'd have shit myself after that coffee. I'm just a girl. Another rant, on the back of my last one about justifying things to people on the internet. If you've achieved everything that you wanted to achieve, if you've kind of met all your goals and you don't want to go for another show, even though you had one planned, you don't need to justify a reason for why you would not continue prep. Why would you? It's not healthy to be stage lean. Why would you continue to be stage lean any longer than you needed to? If you've met and achieved and far surpassed your expectations in some cases, wind it in. I don't know, I've seen a lot of justification recently for not doing a show or talking about your feedback when, like, people know that it's not correct, and it's just I find it really, really strange. People on the internet, you don't owe them anything. What do you want, honey? It's Saturday and we had a very nice meal last night with our best friends. Had just fajitas. They were immense though. I haven't had fajitas in so long. And now we're at the pumpkin patch doing cute family stuff. Pumpkin picking. I've had a sausage bap which satisfied the need for pork this week. But now we're off to find the best pumpkin that we can.
That's quite good from this end.
Yeah? Andy?
It wasn't just my idea.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you bumped it in the way. Nice. Oh.
Quite a spicy qualifying.
Yeah.
A good lineup. Like with Max and the actually having
It is Sunday and we're back home now. We've had a very wholesome weekend, haven't we, with our pals over in Norwich. What have we been up to? We've caught up. We had dinner with them Friday night. We went out pumpkin picking on Saturday.
Yeah.
That was very cute.
Yeah.
We went out for a meal last night, Saturday night, after Billy had been for a nap. After I had been for a nap. And then today we went for a walk and had brunch, didn't we? But that's been it. It's been
nice.
Very chill, very nice.
Catching and putting more than anything.
Yeah, a lot of catch up. We've just picked Maggie up, who is now being a terror around the house. And what are we going to do with the rest of our evening?
Football!
Not just football.
Well, it's on. It's on already because of the time difference.
Maybe football.
To do that. Just stand.
Maybe just snuggle.
Mm.
Maybe just snuggle.
Yeah.
Oh, you sound like you'd rather watch football.
Well, we could do both, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't know what we'll do, but whatever it is, it will involve minimal movement. In terms of food this weekend, I've not been on plan, but I've not been far off it and not far over at all, I don't think. I just haven't, have I? We had fajitas Friday night.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, they were really good. I didn't even go to town on those. Yesterday I had a sausage and bacon bap at the pumpkin patch. I had a couple of bagels just with butter for lunch because I just wasn't feeling great. And then I had that burger. And then today we had a big brunch, which was bagels, sausage, avocado, some roasted cashews, egg, beans, like nice, wholesome, yummy stuff. And then we actually tried some of the new McDonald's menu from the World Heist range. It was okay.
It was just alright.
It was just alright. It was a bit meh.
Bit mid.
Bit mid.
As the kids are saying.
We stopped off at a mega bakery called Bread Sauce on the way home. Picked up a couple of bits from there. But I don't know what we're going to do for tea tonight. But it will be back on plan tomorrow with a check-in in the morning. And starting the week again, hoping I don't get the chicken ick. But I think I've got a plan for that, which I'll show you next week.